Pretty lazy, very talented. Right, moving on. Are you ready for your next act? From the 29th part! Please welcome to the stage the amazing Mr. Jeremy Davis! Thank you very much. I'm Jeremy. I've been happily married for 11 years. My wife, about half that. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. When I started out, I thought I wanted to be the thinking man's comedian. But my wife convinced me it was too small a niche. But I do a lot of stuff on social media, and it's obviously a great way to find new audiences, connect with new people. But I did get a somewhat dubious compliment on there the other day. I was described as the funniest man on LinkedIn. Now that's not a hotly contested title. It's not up there with the funniest man on Twitter, the most inane person on Facebook, most out-of-touch person on MySpace, the loneliest man on Friends Reunited. Funniest man on LinkedIn means I can do gags for out-of-work brand managers and recruitment consultants. It's a niche. But marketing managers, brand managers taking over the world. I was obviously a marketing manager that came up with the phrase, the best thing since sliced bread. And it doesn't say a great deal for modern civilization, does it? The peak of human achievement in the modern era is sliced bread. When you think of the achievements of the ancient world, the wheel, the pyramid. So I've been trying to come up with think of the best thing before sliced bread. I'm guessing the bread knife. It's a figure of speech, and as a writer, I love the English language. I hate to see it abused. And something that's been causing me a fair amount of distress recently is this trend for portmanteau words, combinations of words, edu-tainment, infotainment, edu-tainment. Everything's got to be entertaining these days. Surely it's only a matter of time before we see fewer-tainment. The undertakers of the world decide they need to differentiate their service a bit better. Cremate-ainment. Go out with a bang. I've been doing some research and discovered that it's in fact an old and venerable tradition. Dating back to Lewis Carroll in Through the Looking Glass. It was on the internet, it must be true. And I've done some research into other venerable portmanteau words. And if you go into a Chinese restaurant and you ask for a chalk, any ideas? The chopstick and a fork. And what possible use could a chopstick and a fork be? But speaking of brand names, I discovered that Smash is in fact a portmanteau of smack and mash, which gives a new context to that white powdery stuff that masquerades as mashed potato. That explains why the Smash Martians are so fucking happy. But I am obviously in the shadows of Parliament, Big Ben, and I was lucky enough to go on a tour of the Houses of Parliament recently, and they took us around a bit where the suffragettes chained themselves to the statue and all of that stuff. And of course these days we're all enthralled to the spiritual heirs of the suffragettes, Mumsnet. And as a parent, I'm delighted at the inexorable rise of Mumsnet, which for me goes to demonstrate the difference between men and women, or at least mums and dads. Mums want to make a point, they get together and form this incredibly influential political think tank that defines family policy and the corridors of power for a 5-year period. Dads want to make a point, we dress up as Batman and Robin and climb up Big Ben. I've actually met the guy, Matt Connor, who founded Fathers for Justice. His next move was to go off and found niche ice cream brand, The Ice Creamist, most famous for breast milk ice cream. So clearly a man with issues. Well, I don't think even Mumsnet could have imagined just how far their influence would spread, because Al Jazeera English scored an exclusive interview with Barack Obama, and in a very modern way, they did one of these ask the audience thing, where they asked all their viewers via social media what questions they'd like to ask the most powerful man in the world. You may remember this goes back to sometime before the last election, when they did a similar thing with Gordon Brown, and the question came back, what is your favourite biscuit? And they asked him, and he couldn't answer, and the media held this up as an example of how he was just this emotionless, automated, incapable of human feeling. So, what was the most popular question the viewers of Al Jazeera wanted to ask the most powerful man in the world? What's your favourite biscuit? Remarkable, considering there was a punchline to that bit. Anyway, so you should never, I'm going to end on this, you should never believe what the marketing people tell you. I received proof of this 10 years ago. My then girlfriend, now wife, and I were in the days when romance was young and free and wild. Decided to recreate that Haagen-Dazs advert. Don't you remember the one? It was only shown in cinemas, where the couple are in the shower with the Haagen-Dazs, and I think the idea is they're smearing it all over each other. And well, anyway, we rapidly discovered why you need the shower. Because you get sticky. And, yeah, you've heard of spotted dick. Well, this was Velcro vagina. We ended up sounding like a really, really worn-out transformer. Incidentally, I was accosted by a group of transformers recently who said to me, "Take me to your leader." And I said, "No." And they just made really sad faces. And it turned out that it was a new group of highly sensitive robots, the emoticons. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and a privilege talking to you this evening. Would you please get it up for your next act, the wonderful Mr. Paul Warwicker.
Right. And yeah, we become quite new at stand-up. Before doing stand-up, I went